I expect to be paid extra for the little peep show.
File price. It's June 9th, 2026. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'd just like to start out with a prayer. Caleb, if you could lead us in prayer, maybe we could say a little bit for Scott Williams since he's very ill.
Yes, sir. Gracious Heavenly Father, I come to you in the name of Jesus Christ, under the power of the Holy Spirit, thanking you for the opportunity to talk about this business, to mediate and be able to be about the business that would benefit those around us, our neighbors, our loved ones. Pray that you would impart wisdom and that we would be able to navigate all of these things that you've given us in your providence with duty, with honor, and integrity. I ask that you would also please help Scott. We pray that you would intervene on his behalf and that you would comfort, that you would help, and that you would sustain. It's in Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we'll take attendance. Lonnie Dickin,
Present.
John Adams,
Present.
Caleb Malcolm,
Present.
Linda Gill, present. Robin Meade, here. Heidi is not here, and Scott is not here. For visitors, I have Earl Cleveland, Josh McNulty, Christine Dickin, and Bobby Phillips.
You're Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting? Does anybody have any additions or corrections?
No additions. I make a motion.
We'll have a second on that motion.
No seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
I give it to some look on that. There's something that I signed by close to.
All right, everybody like to take a look at the report? If I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Can I get a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll move along to old business. The income studies, we probably have the paperwork there, and the income studies did come back. And the level that they needed to be to apply for a Okra grant for the sewer and also for the school if that, however that works out.
Has she got enough back of a sewer one yet?
Yes.
He does now.
She said it was incredible.
Okay, good.
As far as the quotes for the sewage pumps, I don't know if Bobby has anything to add, but Scott was working on that as well.
I hadn't dug any further when you told me Scott was getting quotes on this.
Right, if you have time, could you carry on with that?
You know, see where he was getting those quotes from.
B&H or something, being something, I don't know exactly. Robert might know, we wrote checks to him.
B&H, I think.
You know, me contact that night. Approval's usually pretty premium on that. Somebody's already going through it, they probably know exactly what Scott he picked quotes for. I can insist.
Yeah, there's one guy there that he talks to all the time. I'm not gonna it is, unfortunately, you can't call him and ask him, so. School on advice for attorney, that was just what we read last meeting, correct, about our advisement.
Yes. He did call back and said if we need any help on anything. Just to let him know. That he would come out and represent us, come out and talk to people, draw up anything we needed, just to let him know.
Yeah.
And we are getting insurance quotes from Trina.
I didn't know if you can explain it unless we have, explained it to members of the group, and Bobby has to as well, that from the advisement of the attorney, if we don't have control of the school, we can't get the money to help. So the ball's kind of in their court. And that's where it kind of stands now. But there is another proposal on the table that if someone very interested in seeking the funding and making it a charter school. But if it is a charter school, it has to be a nonprofit charter school. It can be whatever, but if we receive Okra money, I have to make the phone calls today. If we receive Okra money, then it has to say what it's designated for. So that say we went for Okra money right this minute, and it was a community center, it can't be school for 7 years. But
How
7 years. But if the school is nonprofit, we can receive Okra money and they can share the space.
So that would community center.
And the charter school, and that would work. That would be two that support the one. Like I said, the ball's really in the girls' school at this time. I mean, we can't do anything. You know, I'll sign this letter that says that you know there's nothing falsified about this, but this is far enough going. I've been in contact with Patty until other things are ironed out. But I guess the school kind of relies heavily on what their center goes in, possibly. But there is some other funding as well. But if it happens, I you know, nobody said numbers, so I don't know. But I think that there'd be substantial funding available for that. But that's all I can do to update this time stands because
It's a lot of ifs.
well, it is. You know, it's kind of what's really tough about it. If Doug would sign a school over, we can apply for Okra money right now. if we did that, we would want to make sure we would not eliminate the chance of a school going back in right now. If you could use the funds to rehab the facility. Because that was a question that I've been on the phone a lot about today, figuring this out. But yes, we would not. In our application, we would want to mention that in our application that it was another, but we also have to find out if the people that want are interested in the school are a nonprofit. Because if they're for profit, then it doesn't work.
That's not be co-habitation.
Right. And then I would suspect that we probably need to talk to those people and see how serious they are. But once again, we don't have any control over it, so they can ask us everything they
Say-
want.
They got in contact with Doug Harrell for the.
They have gotten in contact with Doug Harrell, they have spoken with Robin. It's kind of a tough situation. There's some pushback on the group by wanting us to be involved with the building. So if that's the case, then we can't have them on an over grant because even Patty has told them that the town has to be the recipient. The town has to have ownership on them.
Same moment.
Just have to see what comes of it. I mean, that's all we can do. I mean, so 13 years, I guess, but they have to figure out what they're going to do because she was even questionable of where the 501 could receive the Bethany money without the Oprah grant because she said that Bethany wanted to put their money, combine it with other money to make it go fund. So there's a lot of questions and you may not get an Oprah grant either, you know. That's going to be some tough choices we're going to have to deal with eventually. I guess what the charter school trustee could still only go to get the trustees eliminated, correct? The charter school did their own funding.
Yeah, if they go down funding.
So my whole thing about the school is I just want to protect the school. That's I want it written up. If we do get to that point, I want it written up where it has to stay with the town. And nobody sell it, you know, it would have to be a decision by the town, it would be a because but then you set it 1 to 2, you know, future generations are they gonna care? Because it's just gonna sit there and there be a rundown building that the town owns. There's not easy answers. There's not easy answers.
The charter school was actually a possibility that could alleviate some of the issue in terms of the cost of upkeep, though.
Yes,
that would be
you would have
extremely
to-
helpful.
You would have 2 incomes
Exactly.
supporting the building.
You would
I can't see where the community center would need all the space.
no.
If the school was contributing a lot of funds through the space that they
Yeah.
inhabited, I can't see where. I think the community center is more of people wanting to use the gym than anything. But if you go back to the study that Bobby's company done, community center or school was the top of the list of what people wanted.
Then you run into almost having to employ a property manager of sorts to deal with the various different tenants that would be there too. So that would be helpful if it were just one entity.
Or, one or 2. You know, they can,
Yeah.
if the town need a community center, they want a library, they can have the classrooms in the front.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, or what else? And, you know, I don't, cafeteria, I think cafeteria is a big thing because they want to put a commercial kitchen. I'm not sure if they need a commercial kitchen, but that's one thing that they desire.
Well, I think if there was a school in there, question of future generations being involved would change a lot.
For helping. That's-
Yes.
in my vision, the greater good for the community is just,
Yes.
that is the greater good of the community.
Mhm.
Because eventually things will grow around here again.
Yes.
I know everything's expanding, things will grow, there'll be houses added, there will be,
There will be
Young
people
families wanting
involved.
to put down roots and everything.
Yes.
Mhm.
yes, there will be, eventually it will happen.
Revitalization.
It may have not happened in the last several years, but it doesn't take much of that to spur a bunch of growth.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And if you've noticed that like Charlestown and all those, they've expanded where Clarksville, Charleston,
Blowing
are all
up.
connected now.
Blowing up.
And it's just heading this way. It's heading toward Madison. Eventually there will be some expansion.
Mhm.
And a school would help
Yes.
help increase that expansion.
Yes.
Mhm.
You could go back to having a small community school, a small community. Heck, you might even get a bank back. With ATM. Gotta start somewhere.
Might even get a second Dollar General on the other.
So I do that. Yeah, definitely put two of them next to each other. Competitors. But that's about basically the gist of the school. That's where it all stands right now.
Thank you.
The new business, the culvert by the railroad. We fixed the culvert. We had to go in there and cut a bunch of it out. What is going on is that is I don't know, what years they installed clay pipe on it? 24-inch clay pipe.
Storm drain.
Yeah. But it's an all old clay pipe. And it's
I couldn't tell what it was. when I
once
looked in
again,
that hole.
it's a very interesting scene.
Mhm.
It's on railroad right away. But we have two drains, one in front of the J&R grocery, one across the road to drain. So he doesn't want to take liability. But yeah, they have to be standing there for us to work because it's within 4 foot of the tracks. Which Adam was good about letting me work on.
Mhm.
But it's right on 4 foot from the tracks. I mean, it's literally. And so where it exits down near the bridge, the exit is covered up. So what it was doing was filling up and blowing back through the weak points. One of the spots that we repaired.
Backwashing all of this sticks up against the and that's what it was like it was plugged up on one side.
And it needs to be jetted because where the area it's at was very tough digging. And I spent a couple hours down there just digging with the excavator, looking at the iron, found it. Because there's so much silt come down from that bridge. It's right by the bridge in that area. Where we repaired it at, somebody had put an old piece of pipe over a piece of pipe and you string wire and concrete
So it crosses the railroad tracks. You're saying it comes up by the bridge?
on the railroad side or the feed mill side of the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Goes underneath the
I'm
road.
with. I was thinking.
Well,
It has to be fairly deep to get under the sewer main. Because the sewer main's real shallow in the road there. It has to be fairly deep.
I talked to Adam a couple of different times about getting out there, but maybe the reason why it's not happened yet is because they've been higher complications. How you said you still?
Last week. They have a big issue. They had a culvert washout on the tracks.
Okay.
So they were working on it.
So they have not fixed your culvert yet.
Yeah, the culvert there. And everybody, yeah. No, it's he's both times expressed willingness to get out there. This guy's
He'll go. I mean, he's not. And like this situation, he worked with me a lot. I just called him to make sure if he couldn't have a guy there, he held the train up for me to get it finished. I mean, we had to work quickly, but basically we had to bust out in a bunch of old clay and slide a pipe inside of one pipe and back the other way, and then mortar it all. Fix one of the holes, and the other hole was just that old clay pipe. It's the same thing that happens to the sewer. The mortar blows out of the joints. And when they blow out of the joints, they leak like crazy. So it had a gap about that wide. If there's anywhere else that we need stone, I still have stone left over. I just had it dumped at my house because we really didn't have no place to dump it. So I have stone. There's any corners on roads or anything that needs something put in. The alley. Right here. where Brett King's working on the house. Have you been down that alley? It needs the next street back tremendously bad. You can't hardly get down without driving in the neighbor's yard.
Between Brent's and the two-story house that's for sale,
Yes,
that alley,
that alley needs trimmed back.
so does that end of Reynolds.
And then I had a complaint also this week of the bushes at Pete's house. When we're trying to pull out from the church, can't see past the bushes, people stick their nose in the car and in the road. And it is kind of that way. I drove it through.
Where is Pete now?
That's Freddie with it. That's
No. I
oh,
know.
where's Pete?
Yeah, where's
He
Pete?
is with his daughter. He was like, if I seen him at the farm the other day when we went by.
I saw her mowing, but I didn't know if he was out of the nursing home
I
or.
think he's out. I think the problem's corrected on Reynolds as well. The city's not on the phone.
Before I sent letters, I texted her and asked, and she said that they fixed it. So I've been by twice and it's not bubbled up, so I think it's fixed.
Other than that, so we want to do business.
I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I was reading here that it was it's going well getting cooks and have when they have the door to door, but when the campus is calling.
That's the last I heard from her. I didn't know if she could do something different
Yeah, I don't
today.
know. It's if I learn, I don't
Is this what it is? This is what she sent me,
probably
the sign.
it's tough. The stats and
Yeah, she told me that as well. That she had an surveys coming, but it was very good, and she was passing information along to request the next step for those.
yes. So we're ready to roll. Since they came back favorable enough on the, I guess one thing that we need to focus on our end is the rate study. So we're going to have that.
And that may have been what she requested. That may be your next piece. That's what brought Josh. Josh has worked with several communities and bring it feed on what we've done in some other areas, and that's helpful whenever you would like that.
Basically by signing this letter, all his certification. And it's all false through. If anybody did anything illegal. Anything funny. And signing. Yeah.
You want to talk about the income study now?
Oh, we can.
Or not income study? Grade study.
Yes, we need to make this rate study.
Hi.
So you're absolutely right. Rate study would be the next thing that Patty would be getting the ball rolling on. I don't know where your guys' rates sit at, but that would
Low.
be like, are we talking $30?
25.
Okay.
Somebody said it was too low to apply for Okra.
It's not too low to apply. It's not too low. It's not too low certainly to apply for the utility study, which would be the first thing that we would have to do. Now, we would have to do the utility study. And once that got accepted, then we could move forward with a construction application. That's where the rates, if they needed to change, that's where they would have to change before we actually came in with a construction grant to build something or update some sort of infrastructure. But for that first step, just with that utility study that we'd have to do, to basically lay out our plans that's a separate application of two different application processes that we would have to go through. Utility study, the one I mentioned, those are reimbursable from Okra. If you do one utility, they'll reimburse up to $30,000. You do two utility studies, so if we did like a storm and a sanitary sewer study, it would be up to $60,000 that they would reimburse you guys. It requires an 8% local match from you to go into the fee for that study. Once that's completed, like I said, then we have to have it accepted by Okra. Then we can move forward with a construction grant with Patty, get that applied for. It's two different processes. I know it's kind of convoluted, but my comment to Bobby as we were kind of talking through these things, and looking at your system, like we took your plans to office. I made some PDF copies for you, so you have some electronic versions of those.
Cool.
If I recall right, your first system was installed in '67, and then Commonwealth came in and did some updates to it in '89. To my knowledge, y'all haven't really touched a whole lot of the system since then. Is that correct?
That's correct. Which it's been different members of the board. At different
Right.
times.
So my concern is just what long term in the next 10, 20 years ago it's like for you guys as utilities. What parts of your infrastructure, like through Bobby's and my conversation, it sounds like there might be some infiltration with your stormwater problems in your sanitary sewer. My thought is I don't know what other problems are there that we don't know about yet, or what other problems are going to keep rearing up their heads in the next 5-10 years. So my thought with an Okra study is to take a longer term approach, right? So not just immediate issues like with your infiltration in your lift station, which certainly I think are your big issues right now. But longer term than that, what are the other things that are kind of be coming down the pipe that are going to need some more attention, that are going to probably need some more dollars thrown at it in the next 10 years or so, right?
Well, my opinion on that, I think there's a lot of lining that needs to happen.
That lining would be the first thing I would advise is coming through and line your sewer.
Right.
I don't know if your infiltration issues coming from your main line, from your laterals.
I know where a lot of it is,
Okay.
and it will get taken care of.
Okay. That would be my first suggestion,
I know
even
where
outside of Okra.
when Westwood did the study, they actually cameraed the two worst locations.
Okay. I knew they did a smoke test. I didn't know if
they came back out with a camera. They had a little time, and they came back out with a camera. And there's one really big issue, and it's kind of big because it's a whole lot of pipe that the joints have blown out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's real close to a waterway. So when the water comes up, it fills the pipe. It's the same level pretty much.
Yep.
You can look through a hole. If you'd like to see it sometime, I'll show you, Bob. But you look through a hole in the bank and see the pipe. So that's where a lot of it's coming from, and we will get that taken care of. Because they said we needed to show where we had done some work on the system.
Mm-hmm.
But I just knew that the pumps were getting very inefficient.
Well, and I think
But the water, right. All the water infiltration, they run 4 or 5 days straight when we get a big rain.
Right.
So, it's all that wears the pumps out quicker. I understand.
Yep. Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. If I think if you can take care of the I&I, with outside of Okra, I think that's in your best interest, especially for a immediate issue that you have. Because I don't think you can afford to wait on Okra money.
But,
Well,
we knew we had a lot of those problems, and I understand you do a little bit at a time. It's money I'm learning.
Absolutely.
But my thought was the lift station is so important because if it goes, it's so that my thought was if we could get the Okra money, and we're not opposed to even if we could get prices on the pumps, just getting the pumps. They're beyond rebuilding. They've been rebuilt so many
if
times that
even
they're
if you're able to
they're
get
prone
them
to wear out.
rebuilt, it's a short term fix. You
Right.
need a longer term look at that whole pump lift station there
It's
for again longer term
right,
viability.
right, and you know the infrastructure is the key of the community.
Exactly.
So, but my thought on the pumps were if we could replace one and run on the other one, and then you know replace the other.
Mhm.
You know, it doesn't have to be done tomorrow. It's working, but if we had one new pump, it'd be way more dependable than two worn out pumps.
Mhm.
You know, that was kind of mine and Scott, the way we were looking at it. That's why he was pricing the pumps.
Mhm.
Because we're going to have, you know, I mean, you talk about waiting on this, but I mean, we're sitting here and the pumps go down. We're down there digging
That's
that line,
exactly right.
tapping that up,
That's exactly right.
getting a transfer pump.
Yep. Yep.
I'll see what they need.
Come in. Come in. It's open. No, it's not. Burn it full. There you go. Heaven. What you need, sweetie?
We can't get all the pipes started. Oh, well, I don't know that any of us are mechanics in here. No, like full start, we can't. We're not strong enough to do it. You're not strong enough to do it? No. We did it one time and all the working. I'm not strong enough to do it either. And where do you live? Down the road. Down the road. Can you go get some mom and dad? 4 or 5 houses. It's his idea of home. Yeah, well, I think probably you should go get your mom and dad.
Thanks, story.
All right. I said maybe they're having a meeting. That's what we're doing.
Future board members.
That's scary.
But no, I think you're right. The pumps and your I issue, I think are at least something if you can flush out right now, you should.
See, but see, and then there's complications too, like the force main under the house break. That's been a hot topic that he was supposed to pay to move. You know, it's came and went, but then the idea was the cheapest way to do that was have precision just bore it.
Yes.
They'll come in and shoot it under
Yes.
the driveway, and we don't have to pay any restoration. We tie on up at the road where it comes down the hill, and we
Yes.
tie on at the creek.
Yep. Yep.
Because then you're not trying to compact gravel back in. You're not worried about trailers falling because the ground give away.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it blows out, it is a serious issue. You can't get to the one part.
And that would be something that I would advise. Like we could probably throw that into an Okra grant easier because that's not an immediate issue that needs to be fixed. I think,
Right.
but it's definitely something that some funding would help.
Well, part of that was the owner was supposed to pay.
Mm.
That was part of that. I see. After we told him, he kept putting house trailers on. After we told him what was going on, he just kept shoving them up there. So when if it happens again, we'll pray it don't. But there may be a house trailer have to get dragged out to fix the pipe, and the whole time it's spraying in water
Mm-hmm.
and cutting the groove in the creek. There's no stopping.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Then we have another situation up there. Another bad situation is the line that comes behind the post office. It has a big belly and a suck hole that they found in the smoke test. But then when it goes down to the store, the highway store, it jogs over and they're building on the manhole and their posts sitting on top of the pipe. There's a crack in the clay pipe. And I've seen it's on camera. So we have rock falling in there, 50 degrees falling in there. But it has a building sitting on top.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how that happened. It was before my time, but it did. So we've cambered that too.
Those are two main problems that must have found.
That was two big problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always wondering where all the rocks come.
Yeah.
Because every time they would jet it, rock would come back. I'm just trying to figure out
Where it was coming from.
how 50
Yeah.
degrees we're getting into.
Yep.
Well, now we know.
Well, good lubrication for pumps.
Yeah, they work great.
Not.
Almost as good as baby wipes. Almost as good as baby wipes.
Yeah, I think you've got the right idea. Um, we're here to help as best we can, whichever direction we want to move forward. Um,
I think that it would show us being proactive if we got the pump, at least in one of the pumps. But the problem with doing the pumps, all the controls need to be done. The controls are junk.
yes.
You can't isolate pumps. You have to shut
Yes.
everything down. It needs controls done in one pump. We need to get some pumps on that.
Isn't that what Scott was working on?
That's what he's been working on because the controls are garbage. The pit and all that's there is not the best, but it seems to be. And then I also know that also down in the hole, there's a lot of valving that needs replaced.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
you
my
can't
next comment
isolate.
about
You
that.
can't.
Yep.
This,
Yep.
there's a lot of valving that needs replaced in it when the pumps change. And you could probably do that one pump at a time. Say isolate.
Supposed to isolate. Well,
Yes.
everything turned the
Well,
right way.
no, they don't turn it off.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And they're 12 feet deep.
Yep. Which I mean, we'd have to have somebody come out and look at that because I mean, if we can't isolate it, that might turn into a big project than what we can
Right.
take care of right now, anyways.
And Scott can answer all that.
Right.
Scott was feeling.
Right.
That's definitely the point of interest we need to focus on.
Yeah. I think if you want to go Oprah, I think that's a good plan. Like I said, to think about what long term you want to look towards replacing and fixing. Budget wise, that's going to come with a portion that you'll have to cover, right? And just make sure the last community I worked with on this, they weren't aware that they had to cover part of that amount, so they thought it was a free grant. They weren't aware there was going to be a 20% match on their part to go along with that. So
they want you to have skin in the game. That's all.
right.
I mean, it just makes sense. They got motivated.
I think they were just being nosy.
Obviously, that sounds about right. And we could consider a meeting.
I still goes back to my thing. I think you can go ordinance at least states and whether you enforce it or not, that nobody under the age of 16 with a helmet needs to be out on the road. You don't have to enforce it, but somebody gets ran over and it's a WFUT policy. I don't think state law would have that covered. I would think so too, but they never do nothing about it. I mean, this is crazy. Here, kids, just take your dirt box and go run over Dupont. You're 5, you're good. Watch out for big semis. Watch out. It's crazy.
Tractors can't see that.
Yeah. I just don't want to see it again. That's my whole thing. I think it's great that they're out doing something outside and doing things.
There's a lot in this town that think I'd fight to this age.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that blind spot for those railroad tracks and everything along Joplin right there next to our house. They've done some close one here. See,
I don't want to be the guy that hits one. Is that all the new business?
Yeah, so next step, you think rate study or utility
For
study?
for Patty, it would be a rate study.
Rate
A rate
study.
study would be a part of the utility study. So the rate study and the income survey, all of that would be items that would go into
The grant.
a utilities. You're right, a utility study grant that we would put together with the technical aspects and the engineering aspects and submit to Okra.
Okay.
Well, now the rate study, is that just basically comparing our rate to rates for other small towns or?
It's
areas?
that, yes, and
And
then
then when that goes in with the income study and then it becomes a utility study,
mhm.
what more goes into that?
So the rates and the income will go into that. There will be environmental aspects that we'll have to hash out in that study. We'll have to basically say what the problems are that you guys are experiencing, document those, and put together our plan for how we're going to fix that. What issues you're facing, what we're going to do about it, and how we're going to spend that money, what our budget would look like, environmental impacts. We have to talk about community impacts, what the community feedback would be about that, how they would accept that idea, if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. All of that would go into that utility study.
And who does rate studies?
We do that. Patty do that.
Patty would do that.
Patty does.
Patty should do that, yes. I believe so.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, that would not be something we would do.
Very complicated. Isn't
Yes.
it? It is.
Yep, there are a lot of hoops to jump through.
They're like, "Oh, just get a grant for that."
Yeah, there's somebody walking.
It's easy to say, not easy to do.
No, but I mean, my opinion on it, all in all, is we got to start somewhere.
I agree.
We got to start sometime. Start somewhere. And the longer it waits, the worse it's going to get, and the more it's going to cost.
Yep.
Because it's outdated.
Well, and you've got problems that need to be fixed now.
Right.
You know, that going to come back to bite you if you don't, unfortunately.
But even like our gym said, transfer switch don't work. So I'm sorry, you got to go out with it. Manually flip it in to make it so the sewer runs. No, but I mean it's supposed to.
That means.
No, so basically when the power goes out, the generator starts. Then it's supposed to have an automatic transfer switch that kicks the power to the pumps on. Transfers from like electric power to the generator power.
And it doesn't do that?
No, you have to go in there and manually flip it.
Who goes in there? and
Scott
manually
Scott
flips
does a
it?
whole lot more than people realize.
Scott has it on his phone where he gets alarms, so they'll come out and flip it.
I thought maybe you got the one called John.
Well,
He has. I mean, I went down there and flipped it. I don't mind if I'm home. I don't mind to do whatever.
sometimes Collier has to go flip it.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things. It's a money pit right now
Right.
because you're putting a bunch of money in to prop up stuff that's not going to live very long.
Okay, so then next step that we should take is fix the big break. Okay,
We'll get that done.
and I put down that we're gonna do that.
Take care of that.
That's the one in Delrichville.
Okay, take care of that.
Okay,
The next thing after that would be those things that Bobby, maybe you can tell me what they're called. They're going manholes to seal all the manholes set below grade where they got the two, hook holes in them. They got Scott has them at Hanover. They go into the lid and they seal that so water can't get down the manhole with this below grade. Like it just sets there. Doesn't
seals
water.
where they bolt down.
I can't remember what he told me they were called.
I can't remember what it's called either. I've seen them before in passing, but I can't remember what it's called.
Well, we need to put some risers on some. But
Yeah.
but still we need some
like that name.
because there's some situation where if it's going to be below grade. I think I know of 8 that need risers now.
really?
I think I drove around 8. And we still need to go get on the golf cart and ride around and try to isolate these sewer addresses that Leslie gave us.
Yeah, I brought the letters with me, see if you wanted to go over them. Okay.
When Leslie did our smoke study, they just picked an address. So people with gutters, it may or may not be on their property. People with leaks, it may or may not be on their property. So you send out letters and then you have people coming in here, well, it's not my property, it's the neighbor's property.
Yep.
It's quite interesting.
And to decide for what they gave you.
Mhm. Okay, wanna move on to park?
Yep, the park,
We do need to replumb that bathroom. They've worked on the tank twice and it doesn't help anything. So it just fills up really, really slowly.
It's gotta be done. Just, does anyone do it?
I can ask him to see.
If Eddie wants to do it, I'm sure he can do it.
Also, Puckett wanted to do a raffle to raise the money to pay for it,
Right.
and you're okay with that?
I'm probably not.
Okay.
And if he don't, we'll just pay for it because it's gotta be done. I mean, it's kind of crazy how the bathroom, it doesn't work.
I timed it the other day and it took 20 minutes for that toilet to fill up.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's
It's absolutely
ridiculous.
terrible. I
Yeah.
mean,
I don't know, learn
Yeah,
how to
that's
live
what
this.
You could.
it really is. It's all pretty useless the way it's running around. And it's all because it's neck down to 1/4 inch line. It has 3/4 into it. It should be have plenty of supply. But when they plumbed it, they plumbed everything out of 1/4 inch bags. So it just won't. There's no water flow. Like there's absolutely no water flow for the toilet. But you might ask Eddie if he's interested in doing that.
Okay.
If not, let me know. I can send my guy down to do it or something. They can do that. It's not complicated.
All right. I'll ask him. Does anybody have anything for open public session?
You have anything, Earl?
No, I just think about in the sewage line we were talking about earlier. There's one at the dip of my property, goes up to Saxis on the other side. That line is exposed, open out there, and it has been for quite some time across the creek.
Right.
It's like, and I knew you were talking about getting surface water in, and then the creek comes up, and I don't know what happens, whether it runs down or holds it.
It could be. I'll get down and take a look at it. I mean, I know the line you're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't know whether that needs to be indicated in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how you should do it.
Back in the day, they did all of them. You go to Madison and
Yeah.
you get doing the trailer courts in Madison, they're all open through there where they cross
Yeah.
everything. I'm not saying it's the best solution, but it's better than clay pipe.
Well,
It's
yeah,
better than clay.
guaranteed.
I'm not a fan of clay pipe.
A lot of that stuff, that kind of pipe rust as well.
And that clay just deteriorates.
Yeah.
That clay and it's just
Yeah, your mortar
a
joints
shovel
breaks.
with a bus.
The mortar
It's
joints.
just gone. It's just the whole pipe needs replaced. But we're going to discuss that for because it's done drain. I don't know how that was ever done and what it was done.
I remember back in the day, Joe Schwab and Kenny worked on it, but I don't know why or.
I can remember when they worked out, they were with the concrete and
Yeah. They did the bigger crates and poured concrete, but I don't know why they did it, not the railroad.
well, it wasn't the railroad kind of defunct for a whole time there.
Yeah, it's probably true.
I mean, that track's getting used more right now than they ever got used in its entire life.
That's true. Are you ready to sign bills and vouchers? Bobby, did you have anything you need to talk about?
No, not direct. I know you got all the crossing, all the crack seal was down.
Yes.
Yeah, and then getting in their check, and it's a matter of you want me to have them just grab that check at the office. You guys got that for paying for them.
Yeah, and I hadn't gotten anything to send them the check yet.
I thought you were on that email when they sent the invoice. They said you was getting paid
I don't
on that one.
think so. Unless I was going on one of those trips and forgot. I don't, because I was just thinking about it and thought, why do I still have this money?
Yeah.
So I need to pay it.
Yes, they sent you the bill.
Well, if
It
you
was
find
the same
out,
thing as what it was, 17,000, 754 or something.
okay, if you find that email, send it to me again. So
Okay.
it'll be at the top of my inbox.
They got a grant for most of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
it
did.
covered 80%, which was
Outstanding.
yeah, it's nice when you're doing that for pennies on the dollar.
And the railroad crossing grant too. We got that work done, and I haven't gotten the invoice for that yet either. Not that you care about that one, but
She had it on your Dupont invoice.
Oh, is it?
That's probably why you didn't.
Well, it's probably out there still then. But send it to me again. Or send it to mine. That way I'll be sure and see it.
What's the great place communications in? What's on the button?
Yes, it's in that into the bank. And we're on a contract and I can't switch it to SEI, which I want to.
That's the only line across the home street.
It's we're the only customer of Great Plains anywhere around here. They never did follow through and do the build for individuals.
We get with the contracts out, we change that to SEI.
I think it's coming up this year. And SEI is cheaper too.
Well, it's a lot of right. Looks like my money up there on this supply record.
You should have now.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to step outside here some.
Okay, you go sign this one. This for a condenser and one of the air conditioners at the bank. That's not bank, at the office. A couple of these are back to these stuff again.
Like I said, if you guys see me with a niece ground, I pretty much figured a whole lot, but still have some left. Got that pipe, so I will do. I almost need a building with a laydown yard so we can keep our supplies.
We did.
I mean, honestly, we had that, then we can get the jetter.
This is yours. Do not sign this one. You sign this one.
Real nice to city Madison, they might come get that.
They're expensive. They're very expensive.
Madison's real expensive.
No, Jennings County's way cheaper.
I'll believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah, Brown over Austin's got one.
If they bring that out here, it's at least 1,500
No kidding.
minimum, just to do any of this, anything.
Yeah.
Jennings County to 500.
The last couple times we called Jennings County because it was
Sounds like you got it under control.
Well,
They just
Scott,
really take care of me.
Hanover has a jetter that they no longer use. They got a new one. They got a small jetter. And we've been trying to talk to Scott. He would donate it. He says the talent line, but we have no place to put it indoors. So it would have to be in heat.
Yep.
But it would be an amazing thing for us to be able to do that ourselves.
Well, then this next meeting or something. Thank you.
I'm gonna pass that along or give them the pot.
Water heater and 2 toilets and a busted water line. So the water bill, they called me and said the water bill is gone up. And I said it shouldn't, and I went over and then busted water line in the ceiling of the old part that was just pouring water out. I don't know how long it been doing it. So I got it turned off and I called I called the guy and he was busy and said he could not get there for a while. The one that Belinda had talked to before. So I called Kelly's, they were out there the same day. So that's everything. That's parts, that's water here, that's everything rolled together.
I mean, I know it's expensive.
It's terrible.
1,900, I need mine.
Yeah.
I wasn't questioning the price. I was
No,
just
I
saying who to work with. I know.
But I
You
didn't
should
tell
buy-
you that we were doing it
You should.
right then. I just had to get it done.
You should. I know. I watched the sewage fight and it was all.
Yeah, it was crazy. But he fixed the water leak and then fixed both toilets. One toilet he had to replace, the other one he worked on. and then the water heater.
The repair of our 3-bedroom septic system now costs more than.
Okay, so what this is the water company is now taking credit card payments for sewer bills for us.
Okay.
And when we reach a certain amount, we won't have this bill anymore. But for the first 2 or 3 months until we get enough people signed up, that's the
What about, what
only bill we've had.
did you get Ron ever come up with about the ordinance where they'll shut off?
They have to do it. It's a law now. They have to do it. They have to work with us. So Heidi and McGrath is developing an agreement between us and the water company to actually
That's amazing.
get that done.
That's gonna be really helpful.
So we are.
Efficiency.
It's official now.
It's official. It is a law now. They have to.
Good.
They have to do it.
Look at us.
So there has to
We
be.
probably need to also follow up on the 811 and see if we can figure out what kind of map they want.
Yes, and I've been meaning to do that. I looked at it and I don't understand what they want, so. I need to get with you sometime and bring the. Have you come to the bank with the computer and let's look at it.
So I mean, it's, 811 will stop service for getting.
Yeah.
To it all.
Definitely.
That stuff, you get stuff like that.
Is it?
Oh gosh, it's kind of, it'll take 5 days sometimes. It's just important to list out because if you locate the companies how to follow around, one of them does something, the other one does something, the other ones, and they don't. One of them do both of them, so one guy comes, the other guy wants them. If you're gonna dig a BSQ, you better have 2 weeks to get her in 2 weeks. And even in 2 weeks, the precision with a board on their phone, they probably call and yell at the lady. She got some out there, so you get it board us. We were 10 days in the way. It's a little bit.
That's it. Remember the $200 that we had to pay for that permit to go into the highway extension because we didn't know the rules. It automatically, I called about it. It automatically. Well, did I not get it? It was in
Yeah,
there.
then I didn't think.
Okay. But yeah, so we got a letter the other day that said it expired on June 13th. So
Thank
it automatically expired unless we extend it. So I will send that to the insurance company and get that extension canceled. So we'll get a little bit of money back there. It was 200, so might get 150 back, something like that.
$150 better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Anybody have anything else to add to the meeting? So I get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Meeting adjourned. We thought you'd bring the brownies, Earl.
You don't want mine.
What's in them?
No.